All right, let's.
I just wanted to say that today is the yahrzeit of the seventh Bavashur Rebbe's mother.
Okay.
So
What
this class could be considered.
what was her name? Chana?
Chana.
Okay, Chana. Thank you. This they say is the Baal Shem Tov's name. So yesterday we were talking about the Maggid of Mezrish. We learned a very nice Torah inside about seeing the good inside of our negative thoughts, and then in general using our thoughts to lift ourselves up as opposed to putting ourselves down. That's a big theme in the Torah of the Maggid. A whole nother theme which is talked about a lot in the Maggid and other students of Baal Shem Tov is the idea of humility. Okay, now obviously humility is a classic Jewish value, and talked about a lot. But one aspect of humility is how we're humble to our friends. Meaning, it's no one likes someone who has airs and puts himself over other people. That's like a social problem which you need to take care of. Don't be arrogant. Don't put yourself over other people. But in the Chassidus of the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid, it wasn't only that. It was also a spiritual thing about between me and Hashem. Arrogance, besides for the damage that it does to my friends, it interrupts. It causes me not really to be able to be with Hashem. And it's already in the Chazal. Chazal said that. Say a person's arrogant, so the Shekhinah says, the divine presence says, I can't hang out here. There's too much. There's too much arrogance here. The way the Maggid would talk about it was about the word called ayin means nothing. Okay, but also in Kabbalah, the word ayin is used as another term for the highest sphere. There's different ways of counting the sphere. There's, one of the ways of counting is keter, chachma, and bina. Okay, keter means a crown. So if you imagine the 10th sphere being the body of a person, so the keter would be on top of that, like a crown on top of the head. What does that mean? It's a very long discussion. What the sphere mean to us? But one of the ways of understanding is its levels of perception of the divine. Meaning to say, we can perceive the divine, the midah of chesed. We can understand Hashem's kindness. We can understand the divine through chachma, which is understanding Hashem's wisdom in the world, how everything has a reason. And above all that is the midah of keter. And the keter is sort of, in the Kabbalah, it's described as the intermediary between infinity and our finite world. It's like this sort of, this doesn't really make any sense that there should be a bridge between infinity and infinity, but somehow we try to imagine that there's some sort of link there, and that's called the keter, okay? And what it means for us, as far as our personal service of Hashem, is that means that being aware there's something above our understanding, and being aware that our understanding, however sophisticated it's going to be, it ends, and there's something above that which I don't understand, which really does exist. So that, as you can understand, that ties into humility, right? Humility, saying I don't know, that is humility. Saying, I am not, I don't have everything. Like there's a...
Yeah, no, it's just, I understand what you're saying about keter, but ayin?
So ayin in Kabbalah, every single sphere has many synonyms or other ways of phrasing it. So the word ayin is a synonym for keter. It's another way of saying keter, which actually, if you look at the words ayin, is the same letters as ani, I. So it's I.
So ayin is spelled with an aleph.
With the aleph, yeah. It's like the ain, like saying there is not. So the Chassidim talk about this constant moving back and forth between ani, which means I am and I exist, and an ayin. It's like a going back and forth. It's like a rhythm. One second. Okay, so basically, in our understanding of Hashem, it's very important to be able to be in that place of ayin, I don't know, and you can't fake it. That's what they kept on talking about. You're not able to fake it. It has to, if you're really there, you're there. If you're not there, you have to say, unfortunately, I'm an arrogant person, which I'll try to work on it.
What is arrogance? I'm better than.
Yeah, I know everything. I'm better than others. I am the center of the universe. Which that's really right. So this idea that I am the center of the universe is something. If you think about it, it's a very fascinating concept. I think every single person on this earth, on one level or other, feels that they're the center of the universe. It's
actually the center of the universe.
One second. But I want to think about it simply for a second. It's like we take this idea so seriously. How like everything that's going on is going around me. Now, if you think about it rationally for a second, that's such a ridiculous idea. Like, it's the same thought is happening to everybody else also. So how can it be true? And it's sort of the act of humility is just internalizing that idea that I'm not the center of everything. Other people exist just as much as I do, and God, and more than everything, God exists. What you're asking is another thing. That in a certain sense, we do see that there is value in that.
You see the world.
Right, the world is created for me, right? And so Nachman, it sort of takes a very ironic twist on that statement. He says, the world was created for me, Therefore, I have to worry about everybody. That's the way of turning it over. But in any case, yeah, it's true that in certain, you say ain't I need immediately. Obviously, I have to worry about myself and take care of my needs and all that. But it's just spiritually, it's good to release that every once in a while. You're realizing it's only my perception, and the reality is much bigger than my perception.
And it's turning into a very scary reality.
Well, when you don't live in
When
your
you feel like you're the center of attention, it can turn into snowball into a horrible place.
That's the thing. I think the more people have trouble with communicating with the outer world, the more this becomes. Yeah, and so that's why communication is so big. That it's saving us. It's saving us from this jail called our perception.
Why would somebody, and that's incredible because I don't know, why would somebody want to think that the world revolves around them?
Well, you don't think the world revolves around you?
No.
So you should be giving people brachas. You should be lining up, getting blessings from you. You actually don't think that way.
I'm serious. Being the center means that I have to always be right, and I'm responsible.
I feel like sometimes you wanna, like people feel like they're the center, so because it makes them feel as though they can change the world,
Yeah,
that
could be positive.
You think that if you're right in the center, you have the ability to affect the entire world and to create a huge change because the world revolves around you. So if you try to change, you can flip it all over.
I don't know, what I'm thinking is, without any arrogance whatsoever, everything is happening around me, right?
Only around you, not around the front.
No, it's happening to everybody else also.
But I'm saying that our subjective feeling. I'm not saying that our intellectual mind might be able to get over it, but I'm saying our subjective feeling feels that it's only me, and it's not anybody else.
Yeah.
Now it's not intelligent thought, but I think a child feels that way. Everything's concentric circles, like the levels of reality are relative to the distance from me.
And it's about your journey and what you're going to do and how you're going to
Yeah, I think it's pretty natural, and it sort of takes some meditation or contemplation to get above it.
It's like the Freudian ego is like exactly this description, and I think it's a natural disposition that people don't necessarily want, but they
it's very natural.
overcome.
Very
I don't think it's waking up one day and saying, I want the world to revolve around me.
No, 100%. I agree with you. It's totally a natural process, a natural part of growing up that you feel this way. All I'm saying is that higher levels of spiritual growth, sometimes part of that growth is slightly releasing that feeling and saying that's not all there is.
Well, it's a big decision when it's hard to feel unified
with others.
With others, if you are from yourself, because that's a separation.
Yeah.
Right. Perceptually, everything's going on around me.
Yeah.
And it's going around you, and it's going around everybody else. It has nothing to do with morality or ethics or arrogance. It's just our perceptual.
But what's important? If I ask you to honestly say what's important, not what your mind says is important, what your gut says is important. What's more important? What's happening to you, or what's happening to someone a couple of blocks down? I think your gut would say it's more important what's happening to me. It's okay to say that because you're a human being, but it's just the higher realms of consciousness. It's not true, There's a story with the Maggid of Mezrich and the Baal Tanya. He was his youngest disciple, a very precious disciple. He told him to write a book of halacha, to write the Shulchan Aruch. In any case, the story goes that Rav Zalman came late at night to the Maggid's door and he knocked on the door, and so the Maggid said, "Who is it?" So he said, "It's me." He said, "Who is it?" He said, "It's me." He said the third time, "Who is it?" He said, "Oh, it's Rav Zalman." So then he said hello and goodbye, and he left. And went to travel back home, and he was the Valentine was dressed a little bit like funky, it wasn't the most fancy clothing, and he was sitting at the inn, and eating together with other people, and the innkeeper noticed that the silverware is missing. So he said, "Oh, someone stole the silverware." So they looked at the guy who was dressed, like that. He said, "Oh, he must have stolen it." So they grabbed him. He said, "You took it." He said, "No, I wasn't. I am not the thief." And he said, "No, it's you." He said, "I'm not the thief." Then finally they figured out that's somebody else, and they found it. And he came back to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe told him, for the 2 times you said it's me, when you answer the door, so your punishment, you have to say it's not me. It's not me. That was your teacher.
There's a discourse, like I think it's I Am That, and it's talking about like what you're talking about, the space between learning something and then processing it is keter, being able to learn something and not have to process it in the moment, let it kind of rise up and be clarified, and then it comes back down, and that time where what you're learning is being processed on a level that you're not processing it. That pause, that like
not consciously analyzing it.
Right, and that is the level of keter. It sounds very similar.
Yeah. Not taking it into yourself, letting it be.
That when you're learning something, not have to process it, but be able to just learn it and let it go, and then it will kind of like grow in a place that's above you, and then like come back down with clarity. Back to it right. Understandably.
Because it's not you who's processing.
Yeah. Now, it was an interesting thing about the progression about writing down of the Torahs of Hasidim. So in the Baal Shem Tov himself didn't write anything, and it wasn't by accident. There was a stress on the immediate moment of speaking the Torah, and there's even a story of the Baal Shem Tov that he saw one of his students carrying around a notebook and said, "What's that notebook?" He says, "Oh, that's Torahs that you told us." And he opened it up and said, "I didn't say anything from this whole notebook. I didn't say any of this." Meaning they had this idea that the truth is so hard to come to connect with that. The second you write it down, you're corrupting it and everything. However, Dafka the Maggid of Mezrich was more in the direction of writing things down, and even in the Baal Time was even more so. The Baal Time was really a step, a great step forward as far as writing things down and clarifying and being very specific about it. So this is a story of one of the great students of the Baal Shem Tov's name was Pinchas of Kurtz. Now he was a very, very great man, very wise. Everyone spoke about his wisdom, but unlike the Maggid of Mezrich, he didn't really have a court. He didn't have lots of Hasidim coming. He just sat wherever he was and doing his thing. He had 1 or 2 close students, and he was more of the opinion that it's not good to write so much Hasidus. And he said, you write it down and you throw it out and everything becomes cheap. And actually, the story goes that he went one time to visit the Maggid of Mezrich, and he went to the bathroom, and right next to the outhouse, he found a paper that someone wrote down words of Hasidus on it. He said, "You see, I told you, you start writing it down, you're making things cheap, but you don't realize how precious, this Torah is. And, I told you I was right." So then, the way the story goes is that the Maggid told him a mashal. He says, "What if you heard the story before? There was a prince who was deathly ill. He was mamish on bed. He couldn't do anything. Couldn't move. He was dying. And they call all these doctors, and the doctors say, you gotta do this, nothing helps. They try to put medicine in his mouth, just spits it out. And finally, one doctor says, I have a way which will, something will cure him, but it's still difficult because he's not swallowing. So, so he says, take the crown jewel the king wears, and it has special properties, and if the prince swallows that, even a little tiny bit, it'll heal him. So what they do is they take the stone and they grind it up, and they mix it into some sort of potion, and they pour it on his mouth, and most of it falls into the ground, but they're hoping that one little tiny drop will penetrate into his throat, and that will heal him. That's what he's saying. That's the thing with you're a purist. You want to say Torah needs to be protected and cherished and given its proper space and not corrupted. We hold the opposite. We say just flood the students with lots of Hasidus, and hopefully maybe something will hear them.
Write it down. It's like when it gets passed on from one person to another, it can get changed.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the danger.
Yeah.
Well, what else can you do? Like when the sun kind of like that. It's like water and it flows the way it's meant to be, kind of. It's
I
hard.
mean, I was thinking more when you're giving over, when the Tzaddiks were giving over Torah, it wasn't just their words, there was also their kavanah. It's more than just the words, it was the energy and and their kavanah and their eyes,
Right.
It's more than just,
Connection.
Right.
and that you can't duplicate.
That's they say the stories with Rebbes Zusha about exactly that. That he said that the Rebbes Zusha had the name of being the simplest student of the Maggid Medrash, not into scholarship so much. And they used to say is that the Maggid Medrash would start saying a Torah. And he would say, Dabra Hashem or Moshe Lemor. And then Rebbes would start flipping out from that stuff. Wow, Hashem said to Moshe, wow, it's crazy. I don't believe it. It's like going into connections from just like the idea Hashem said to Moshe, you wouldn't hear the rest of the Torah, you didn't need to hear it. Anyway, so I have a photocopy over here. It's a couple of pages from a Pinchas Mikaros, just to see that side about this purist attitude of not talking too much, not saying. He doesn't have long Torah. He has little quotes. I didn't make enough copies, but here you can pass this down.
Are you like the same one?
No, this is from yesterday.
Yeah. You can look over here.
Oh,
Here we'll look over here. Okay. Anyway, so here's a series of quotes from.
Is there one more?
Yeah.
No.
I'm having a headache.
Okay.
I also can't read them.
So there's a couple of quotes from Rav Pinchas about the midah of truth, about his focus on truth and authenticity. So looking at page 35 here, it's about 5 lines down. He says, "Ilu hakol hayom medabrim emet yaba Mashiach." He says, first of all, if everyone would tell the truth, that itself would bring Mashiach. So his thing, and he says, "Ma beini lebein harav Yaakov Yosef mipona." He says, the first Hasidic book written was Toldos Yaakov Yosef. That's where he wrote long discourses with quotes from Baal Shem Tov. They were contemporaries. He says, what's the difference between me and him? He says, Hu ohev et ha'emet. U'mitoch she'ohava me'od u'marbeh ledaber lafitz barabim divrei emet. He loves truth so much, therefore he wants everyone to know the truth. And therefore he speaks about it a lot. Because he's saying so many words of truth, so a couple of words of untruth, fall into it. But he's okay with that, because as long as he's getting the word out there, even if there's a couple of mistakes on the way.
Who is this?
They told us the Pinchas is saying this about his friend, Yaakov Yosef. Now it says, I hate falsehood so much. In his heart, therefore I'm careful with because I hate falsehood so much that I'll forego saying all this lots of truth. Just I shouldn't ever by mistake say something false. Right?
Are you allowed to say white lies to like help not hurt someone's feelings?
Oh, so that's what we learned in the Gemara says that for peace you should lie.
Oh, really?
That meaning if telling the truth will cause people to fight with each other, then
Well, I think this is different. This is Torah. He's talking.
Right, he's talking about Torah. He's saying,
yeah,
but actually, the next he'll have a story which actually ties into what Shira is saying.
How are you, like, in terms of for peace? How is a person supposed to objectively decide that?
It's difficult.
Is
I agree with you. It's
Are you
difficult.
allowed to do that, or do you have to ask someone like who knows more?
No, the thing is, life is so complicated that it's very hard to give the exact answers ahead of time. Just the broad descriptions of what is we're trying to do. On one hand, we want to tell the truth. On the other hand, we're being taught that shalom is more important. That's the example we were given was that one. Yeah, Ram and Sarah, right? But there's other examples. You tell someone, so you can say the example. You're telling someone over what someone else said. You don't tell them everything. If it's going to cause machloket.
Didn't Aaron Cohen?
Right. Also, I'm telling you, he wants to make up with you, and he wants to make up with you. Yeah.
So for Shalom, one thing is to evaluate something.
Yeah. Again, it's very hard to say to give exact guidelines to these things because it's difficult.
How do you know? Like, what I'm thinking of is my definition of shalom and not be somebody else's definition of shalom. My idea of shalom, let's say, is two people should get along.
Yeah. I mean, one thing we can do is we can daven and say, Hashem, help me not make mistakes, Besides for that, what can you do? We try our best.
Then, like, how am I supposed to trust that people are being accurate with me? Say that.
That's really.
No, that really is an actual.
I hear you say
fear of mine that I don't.
That people are not telling you exactly the truth.
So I'm always like, well, maybe for my own good, they're not being straight up, and it's very not settling.
I hear you saying.
You can't accept
That's part of what we have to take into account. Exactly that. Meaning, sometimes to maintain a person's trust is more important than making peace. Also, that also can be. Sometimes, this person can handle a little bit of fighting, but they can't handle a feeling that they're not being told the truth. Yeah, so that's what life is so complicated. So many ingredients you have to say, okay, what's going on. There's a sefer of Mesilat Yesharim from Moshe Chaim Mutzato Ramchal, and he goes through a series of midot that a righteous person works on. It's midah of being careful about mitzvot, the midah of being swift to do things. Then at one point he gets to the midah of chasidut. The midah of chasidut in the language of the Ramchal means going beyond the letter of the law, being extra special. So, as opposed to all the rest of the book, with the midah of chasidut, the Ramchal has a special chapter called Mishkal HaChasidut. Mishkal means the weight, the balance. Meaning more than any other trait or area of what Hashem is Chasidut, when you're doing something beyond the letter of the law, that's where you have to be most careful to balance things. Because when I'm doing what I need to do, I do what I need to do. The second you're doing something special, that's when the need to balance things is so important. Because who's suffering from this? Am I doing it on my expense? I'm doing it on someone else's expense? Just like exactly what you're saying is like. It'll be a classic. I'm trying to make peace. So, but I'm maybe as a result I'm ruining someone's trust. So it's it's if life had easy answers, then it would be a different life.
I was just thinking. I'd be interested in your opinion that you can't let what other people say determine who you are. You can know who you are from inside.
I hope that I could have that mentality.
You're
That
not,
would be completely ideal.
you're not that.
Yeah, in any case, what Pinchas Cards is very irrelevant. See that when in the heading it says Ma'od Emet, it says Reb Nachum of Chernobyl. Also, another one of the students of the Baal Shem Tov says Sha'al Marie Pinchas. You see what I'm reading?
No, what I meant?
Yeah, after he said, "Kavodo mazhir ma'od b'pnei hasheker." He says, "I know you always talk about against lying. So it's a ma'atem osim kshatem tzrichim lekarev et habriot ze el ze lashot shalom b'nei." What do you do when you're trying to make peace? Exactly what we're talking about. I mean, do you go with this thing of Aaron HaKohen about lying to people? You're so strong against lying. So what do you do in such a situation? Okay. Nachum of Chernobyl is asking Rav Pinchas of Cards, and Rav Pinchas is so famous for pushing truth. So he said, Rav Pinchas replied, "K'shani tzarich lasot shalom, ani medaber ma'od emet, v'ani oseh shalom." He says, "You know what I do when I'm trying to make peace? I tell the truth very much, and that makes peace." It's sort of like a Zen riddle type of thing.
What's the main excuse?
So what does he mean by
What
that?
is it?
So I think he's saying an interesting idea. He said on the face of it, the simple way of making peace is like you do this thing about white lies and just pushing things out of sight. He said, but I don't like that. I like, and therefore I tell the truth very much. Sometimes telling the truth, so much that itself, which makes people understand. Mean to say, he's not explaining what this means, but I can explain like this. Let's say we're fighting over a parking spot, and you found it first, but I'm really late to a doctor's appointment, and therefore I cut you off and I took your spot, and you're really angry and you're gonna break my windows and whatever. And then we're trying to make peace between us. So not telling the truth would say, he didn't really see you and he didn't mean it, But really telling the truth is like, do you understand how badly this guy needs to get to the doctor, and how crazy that's making him? And yes, he did the wrong thing, but understand the truth, totally. And do you understand how much how disgusted this guy feels that he cut him off? Do you understand what that means? What type of personality he has, what a straightforward personality he has, how disgusted he is that people will cut people off. I mean, sometimes understanding the truth without hiding anything, sometimes that itself can bring peace, because it's putting everything on the table, everything, including people's feelings, including people's histories.
It's going beyond what you need to do.
Yeah, but it's also getting to vulnerable the truth to show that even when things that appear bad, people are the truth of it, and it's all from a good place where people in their nature, I guess, are good. Yeah,
and even if they're not good, they mean to be good, Yeah. It's so I think he has to explain what he means, but I suspect that's what he's talking about. That sometimes real honesty can do a lot better job.
Is it shalom? Is that the result of this shalom?
No, but it could be shalom. Sometimes they're saying sometimes real honesty can bring to shalom, even though the path may be a rough path.
A guy gives a lecture, and it's terrible, the worst lecture ever. He's a friend of yours, right? And he says he's a really close friend. He says, "How was my lecture?" The normal thing is to say, at this moment, I would say it was really great, but I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh my God, is that really bad?"
Okay, so if you were a person like Rav Pinchas, who everybody knows never ever says something he doesn't mean, so then his relationship with you will be different, and he knows that you're not gonna brush things over, and he knows when he comes to you, he doesn't want a compliment. When he comes to you, he wants to hear exactly what you think, and he'll be ready to hear that. But I agree with you. Usual life doesn't work that way. Usual life, we're full of brushing things over, and that's okay. But it's interesting just to think about for a second. What would life be like? Everyone was really honest. It's interesting. There's something about it.
There was a movie. Gary about telling the truth all the time.
Yeah.
And it was Torah, it was kind of Torah based. It's like it created some complications.
You get into trouble all the time.
I mean, the example you give with apartment spaces, I think that's, I got that, I can see that. It's like, because that's not hurtful to the other person. It's when it's by being very truthful, you're also hurting the other person. I think that's the more complicated, difficult thing to do. Right?
Yeah, he's not giving us a recipe of how to do this. It's just, you're just saying there's an alternative. You probably have to be a professional, a professional surgeon to be able to do it. You're right.
Well, I also think that people sometimes don't give the other person enough credit, and they think it's going to be hurtful to them when the person can actually hear it and accept it, and the truth may actually be positive for them.
Yeah.
So,
I think it should be very specific. Like some people annoy me. So instead of going up to the person and saying, "You're so annoying," you have to be more specific. It's ABC about you.
Yeah.
That I find you. Right? Don't you think?
Yeah, it makes sense. I finish up with one last story over here with about Pinchas of Karetz. He says the story goes that Pinchas was davening Marav in a regular weekday, and he usually daven silently, but he got the Shomer Amo Yisrael La'ad, Hashem watches over, Israel. He shattered it out with a real cry, and just at that time, this Polish Duchess was riding by behind the Beis Medrash, and she said, "Oh wow, that's a real cry. It's a real genuine cry." And so they told Pinchas what she said. She said, that's the way it goes. When you have things which are genuine, everybody, no matter who it is, a Jew, non-Jew, person that no relation can hear that this is genuine.
It's undeniable.
Yeah, you hear it. That's sort of explains why he sort of chose his path of not being a Rebbe, not being with a big court. I think a couple of students, and that's it. You're very, very careful that things becoming fake. See, protecting this thing of being authentic, and it's very difficult. The second things become, institutional, and the whole court and the whole thing, and it's the test of being fake is much bigger. So it was interesting to see there was such a person who took the Baal Shem Tov's path to that way.
And also, actually, when you write it, going back to the beginning, when you write it down, and then people can pull apart and
Use it for their own ends.
and misinterpret it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to say the truth now.
Okay. What do you have?